When Orion, a brindle terrier mix, first arrived at Sarah's foster home, his small, anxious frame carried a heavy secret. He would not eat. Not a single bite. Sarah offered bowl after bowl, but Orion, with a quiet stubbornness, simply turned his head away. The first evening, Sarah gently placed a bowl of kibble near Orion, her heart filled with cautious optimism. She'd meticulously prepared the quiet living room, a stark contrast to the shelter's cacophony, hoping it would encourage him to relax and finally eat. Orion, however, remained a silent sentinel of fear. He sniffed once, a brief twitch of his nose, then retreated further under a sturdy living room chair, melting into the shadows. He curled into a tight ball, his brindle coat blending perfectly, his body language speaking volumes of profound fear and distrust. The untouched food was a silent, unsettling sign of deep-seated distress, leaving Sarah with a heavy sense of dread, her initial hopes already beginning to fray. Sarah's initial optimism quickly faded into focused determination, bordering on desperation. She cycled through every trick she knew, a culinary tour designed to tempt even the pickiest eater. Gourmet dry kibble was offered, then softened with warm water, then mixed with savory wet food. Next came plain boiled chicken, painstakingly shredded, and bland rice, offered in small, tempting portions on a pristine plate. Each carefully prepared meal, arranged with hopeful precision and a whispered plea, sat untouched, a silent rebuke. This unyielding rejection left Sarah feeling increasingly helpless, a knot of worry tightening in her stomach. Orion merely observed her from a distance, his expressive brown eyes holding an unreadable depth, a ghost of hunger in her kitchen. Days bled into a monotonous, agonizing routine of offering and rejection. Sarah would carefully place the bowl, sometimes at dawn, sometimes at dusk, and step away, allowing Orion privacy. She would wait, sometimes for hours, holding her breath, only to find it exactly as she had left it, the food growing stale. She even tried kneeling, offering a small, fragrant piece of chicken from her fingertips, but he recoiled, turning his head away with defiant finality. The sight of the full bowl, morning after morning, became a heavy, crushing weight, amplifying her growing helplessness and frustration. Each sunrise brought a fresh wave of anxiety, as Orion remained a ghost of a dog, untouched by her efforts. As hours turned into days, the subtle, then undeniable signs of Orion's refusal began to manifest physically. His brindle coat, which had possessed hints of luster upon arrival, now appeared duller, losing its natural sheen. The sharp angles of his ribs and hips became starkly more noticeable beneath his scruffy fur, a disturbing skeletal silhouette that haunted Sarah's every waking moment. His playful energy, if he ever had any, was completely absent, replaced by deep lethargy and a profound reluctance to even shift position from his hiding spot. Each morning, the untouched bowl was a stark, agonizing reminder of his silent protest, deepening Sarah's worry and sense of urgency. She felt time slipping away, dwindling with every passing, empty mealtime. Sarah found herself constantly checking on him, her mind a relentless loop replaying every failed attempt, every rejected meal. Sleep offered little respite, haunted by vivid images of his dwindling frame and the crushing fear that she was profoundly failing him. The quiet of the house, once a comfort, became heavy and oppressive, amplifying her internal struggle and overwhelming sense of responsibility, a constant echo of his silent hunger. She felt an unspoken promise made to this small, fearful creature, yet felt utterly powerless to fulfill it. The immense weight of his fragile life pressed down on her, stealing her peace and focus, leaving her utterly exhausted and isolated in her worry. Desperate for guidance, Sarah finally called the rescue organization, her voice barely a whisper, laced with exhaustion and raw fear for Orion. She detailed every failed attempt, every untouched meal, painting a bleak picture of his steady decline. The rescue coordinator, a kind and experienced voice, offered empathy and advice, suggesting alternative foods, less direct approaches, and even a special high-calorie recovery paste. While the call provided some temporary comfort, a fleeting sense of shared burden, Sarah hung up feeling the immense pressure remained. She knew this was a profound behavioral challenge demanding more than just conventional solutions, and the clock was ticking relentlessly for Orion. Feeling the futility of her direct feeding attempts, Sarah shifted her entire approach, a last-ditch effort born of exhaustion and deep love. She stopped actively pushing food, no longer placing bowls directly in front of him, focusing instead on cultivating a quiet, non-threatening presence. She would sit calmly in the living room for hours, reading or working, allowing Orion to exist in her space without pressure, observing from his chosen safe haven. She spoke to him in soft, reassuring tones, never trying to touch him unless he initiated contact. Slowly, painstakingly, she hoped to build a foundation of trust, hoping that a profound sense of safety and belonging might eventually unlock his appetite, even if it took weeks. The decision to visit the vet became unavoidable, a last desperate hope for a tangible answer, a medical reason that could be solved. Getting Orion into the carrier was a small battle, met with stiff resistance and a low growl. In the car, Orion trembled visibly and uncontrollably in his carrier, a low, anxious whine escaping him as the unfamiliar scenery blurred past. Sarah spoke to him softly, trying to offer comfort and reassurance, her hand gently resting on the carrier, but his fear was palpable, a vibrating tension from his small, rigid body. The journey to the clinic was a tense, silent prayer for a simple explanation, a medical reason that could be easily fixed, offering an escape from this agonizing mystery. At the clinic, Orion allowed the vet to examine him with a quiet, almost resigned demeanor, his eyes wide but unresisting, too weak to truly protest. The vet, a calm and methodical woman, ran a comprehensive battery of tests, drawing blood, collecting stool samples, performing a careful palpation of his abdomen, and conducting a thorough dental check. Each step was meticulous, searching for any hidden illness, any physical explanation for his stubborn, life-threatening refusal to eat. Sarah watched, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and a desperate, fragile hope for a straightforward diagnosis, something tangible they could fight and treat. The sterile silence of the exam room was punctuated only by the vet's calm instructions and the heavy weight of their shared concern. Orion's journey reminds us that true connection requires patience and an open heart. His story is a powerful testament to the unique bond between humans and their rescued companions. If you've experienced a unique bond, share your story below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Snug Tales for more heartwarming stories.